It's really amazing what can happen in 1 year's time. 1 year ago, I was just deciding where I wanted to travel through the Cultural Immersion projects and trying to figure out a way to tell my parents that India was winning out over Ireland and Scotland. I was only beginning to conceptualize how I might fund this trip of a lifetime and was beginning to convince myself it might be possible to save $5,000 in one summer if I worked really, really hard. At some point that fall, Dr. Stokowski mentioned the Jepsen International Studies Scholarship, and I started to wonder what my chances might be. Being honored to receive this award when there were so many highly qualified individuals who applied was an incredible feeling. Knowing that I would not have to worry about the expenses related to my trip gave me such a sense of liberation. Rather than look for 2 summer jobs where I would make a maximum amount of money, I was able to work as a day camp counselor with elementary-aged children at minimum wage, a job that I've enjoyed more than any other I think I've ever had. I also got to focus my attention on preparation for my trip, learning about culture, and figuring out how I might navigate a place so different from my own. Because I don't have to worry about the how of this trip, I can now focus on the bigger picture of getting myself there and teaching and living for 2 months. I cannot express how wonderful it feels to be honored with an award like this, as I'm sure many of my fellow School of Education scholarship recipients would agree. The funding and financial relief that a scholarship like this provides is only part of its importance. Simply being recognized for all the work that led and contributed to applying for the scholarship and having that effort acknowledged is gratifying to no end. This past weekend, I was fortunate enough to have met Dr. Keith Jepsen and his wife, Kathleen Dorr, at the School of Education's Distinguished Alumni Dinner, where he was honored for his accomplishments since receiving his doctorate in education from IU. Meeting such a talented yet down-to-earth couple, so dedicated to international experiences for teachers, was very refreshing and encouraging. These 2 people are inspiring in all that they do, and the fact that they have dedicated so much of their personal resources to things like the Jepsen International Studies Scholarship, as well as Dr. Jepsen's work providing student loans to international students who wish to study in the United States. These 2 endeavors show their dedication to passing on a legacy of international experiences and education to the next generation. As I spoke with these 2 distinguished philanthropists who have worked so hard to develop international experiences for so many deserving students, I became aware of what an honor it truly was to receive this award and be in the presence of these highly accomplished individuals. Conversing with Dr. Jepsen and Ms. Dorr helped me to also realize how wonderful it was to have my expenses covered and the ability to go wherever I wanted. I realized that receiving a scholarship for the Overseas Project allowed me to focus more on the type of international teaching experience I was looking to have. I chose, admittedly rather arbitrarily, Bangalore in the South Central Peninsula of India, and by precedent, I was likely to be placed in an international school there. After giving it much thought, I didn't feel led to enter a school environment similar to one I could find across the world. I wanted a teaching experience that would be unique to the country of India. That was, after all, the whole point of choosing a host nation so different from my own. After discussing with Dr. Stokowski my vision of a more humbling Indian experience and some back and forth with the placement coordinator in Bangalore, Crystal House Bangalore was offered as a possible solution. This school serves some of Bangalore's neediest students and families free of charge, providing meals, uniforms, and a holistic approach to education. I was floored to have found something so perfectly fitting to my educational goals for teaching internationally. All of this dreaming and pushing for a non-traditional experience would likely have been close to impossible were I not honored by the receipt of this award. I know that this experience will enrich my career as an educator, and I hope I can pass on some of the global understanding I know I will gain from this experience. On this note, I want to truly thank the selection committee for seeing something worthwhile in my educational goals and giving me the power to fulfill my ambitions. I cannot thank my family members enough for their unbelievable support in this crazy venture of mine. It means the world to me that you were just willing to listen. I also want to truly extend congratulations to each and every scholarship recipient here today. You are all deserving in so many ways, and I hope you will continue to make a difference in the world of education. Thank you.